It doesn't always have to be bread. Every now and then, it can also be bread rolls. Today, I show you a simple and delicious recipe. What a lovely day to bake. My name is Arne, German hobby baker who is living in Luxembourg. When I was a child, we used to get fresh bread rolls from the bakery every weekend. During the week, we usually had bread. It's easier because bread keeps fresh for a few days. My simple sourdough rolls are made with lots of seeds and walnuts, so they have plenty of protein and are super tasty. And of course, there are no limits to your creativity. So let's get started. This is from Luxembourg with Loaf.
We start the evening before we bake by creating our levain by combining 100 grams of flour with 100 grams of water and 10 grams of sourdough starter. We give it a good mix and this will stay on the countertop at room temperature overnight. The next morning we prepare our toasted seeds. Therefore, I have created a seed mix containing 150 grams of walnuts, 60 grams of sunflower seeds, we have 30 grams of linseeds and 30 grams of pumpkin seeds. And I will toast them in a hot pan. Give it a good shake from time to time. And once the seeds are starting to pop, they're good. Then we extinguish them with 100 grams of water, and this will be put to the side and cool a little bit down. And then it's time to create our main dough. Therefore we have the levain, which has beautifully risen overnight. We take 1 kilogram of flour, 20 grams of salt, the prepared seed mix, as well as 750 grams of water. I've replaced some water with ice cubes, but that is not required. Then we add water to our mixing bowl, leave a little bit for later, as well as the complete flour and the levain to a mixing bowl. I have used my mixer for another recipe, that's why it's still a little bit dirty, but that doesn't matter here. And then we start the engine of the mixer and mix at low speed for about 10 minutes. Once everything is combined, we can increase the speed a little bit and then start adding remaining water, only bit by bit. Once the water is incorporated, we can add the salt, and this will then mix for another 5 minutes at high speed. So here you see that the bottom of the mixer is clearing up and the dough looks a little bit like ice cream, and now it's time to add the seed mix. We mix it for another minute just to break up the seeds a little bit. That's why I'm also having the mixer turned to high speed as well. So then it's time to wetten our hands, and then we do a little window pane test just to see if the gluten has been developed, and this looks pretty good. So we can now transfer the dough to our countertop, and I am taking here a greased plastic box where I place the dough in, and this will rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, it's time to do our first coil folds. Therefore, I wet my hands, pull the dough up and move it over. And then I rotate the box and do the same thing again. Then we let the dough ferment for another 30 minutes and do a second set of coil folds. Same procedure as before, wetten your hands, pull the dough up, move it over. Rotate the box and do the same thing again. We let the dough ferment another 30 minutes and do a third set of coil folds. In these first 2 hours we want to achieve a lot of gluten development into the dough, and that's why we're doing this procedure. And then after 30 minutes we do a 4th set of coil folds. You already see that the volume has been slightly increased. The dough should feel a little bit lighter. That's a good sign of fermentation. And then it's time to let the dough ferment for 3 to 4 hours. You can also ferment it for about 2 hours and then put it in the fridge and let it ferment overnight. Then it's time to flour our countertop, and then we just dump the dough container onto the countertop. And then we want to divide the dough into 130 gram portions. Therefore, I'm taking here my dough scraper and I'm having a kitchen scale prepared. You should put some flour on top, else the dough will stick quite a lot. And then we try to weight 130 gram portions. This will take a while, that's why I have speeded up the process a little bit for you. It also requires you to have some space on your countertop. So that's why I had to rearrange a little bit everything. And then it's time to shape the dough balls with the dough scraper to get some tension and form these nice shaped balls. It's the same like we're doing with bread, just a little bit smaller. So then I figured out that I didn't have enough space on my countertop, so I already started with the preparation of the bread rolls by preparing a seed mix in a plastic container. And then what you do, you basically grab your dough ball and place it upside down into the seed mix. This will stick quite a lot. And the other side of the dough ball should be slightly floured. That's why I have prepared some flour on my countertop, as well as on this cloths that I've prepared. You can also use a kitchen towel, like a special, this is a special bread cloths that I'm using here. And then it's always the same. So the one side should be a little bit floured, the other side should be seeded. And this process also takes some time, but it's worth. So don't forget to flour that kitchen towel or the special cloths, else they will stick to it, but don't use too much flour. And once it is done, it should look like this. And these should be now left for another fermentation for about 30 minutes until they look like this. So you can poke with the fingers and they should very slowly get back. And then they're good to go into the oven. So I'm now placing them onto a parchment paper. In my oven I can bake 9 at the same time. On one level at least. I was a little bit lazy, so I wanted to bake them all at once. Flip them upside down, as you see here, onto the parchment paper. I'm having here a wooden board below the parchment paper. This helps me to slide in the bread rolls into the oven. And then I'm preparing my second set. Same process again, this time a little bit speeded up for you. I have preheated my oven to 250 degrees Celsius, that's 482 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm having here 2 pizza steels as well as a baking tray on the bottom. And I'm basically putting the bread rolls on the baking steels, and then I pour some boiling water to the baking tray to generate steam, and I will bake the bread rolls with steam at 220 degrees Celsius, that's 428 degrees Fahrenheit, for 10 minutes, and then I will open the oven and relieve the steam, and I will bake them for another 15 minutes. If you work like me with two sets of bread rolls at the same time, you should let the fan turn on and then maybe reduce the temperature to 200 degrees Celsius, as you have to rotate the sets, put them up and down, and this is quite annoying, and then the baking time will be quite longer. So either you bake 9 at the same time, and then you basically bake them for 25 minutes in total, or you have to rotate them quite a lot as me, and then it takes a little longer, or you turn on the fan and then reduce to 200 degrees Celsius. That will be also fine. I will write that in the description of the recipe. And then once they are brown enough for you, then you can take them out of the oven and put them on a cooling rack, and there they need to cool for about 30 minutes. They look really nice and smell gorgeous. So let's have a look inside. Wow, look at these open crumb. Pretty beautiful. And here are some more impressions. They look super nice. Golden brown, open crumb. See the seeds inside and outside of the bread rolls. Enjoy and bon appetit.
I hope you enjoyed the video. As I've already mentioned, you can actually integrate all kinds of seeds or nuts here. And the great thing is that you can freeze them and simply defrost them in the microwave in the morning as required. So you always have something at the breakfast table, even if you're in a hurry. Do you have recipes like that? Let me know in the comments below this video. If you want to support me and my channel, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. Have a great day, Eddie, and goodbye.